Hi guys, welcome back. You join me today at Elvington Fisheries in York, just on a small day session. And see if we can get a few bends in the rod. It's a beautiful day. As you can see, the sun is actually beaming. I'll show you the lake. So yeah, it's a really nice day. Got here this morning at, well, I was here at 7. It doesn't open till 8, but I got here and I really wanted to get down the back of the lake. Now it's really narrow, so I couldn't get my bivvy on today. I've got it with me, I'll still bring it, but I've just got my small kind of day shelter. It's not due to rain, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't. I've got, like I say, this little shelter here, and I've also got my brolly with me just in case, you know, it gets really bad. But other than that, yeah, I got here, I had a walk around. Like I said, I really wanted to get on the back bit. Now you can reach the spot I wanted to get to from the front, which is just these pegs here, but due to the bad weather, the ground's really muddy and it's like ruined, so it's literally just like bog. So I really wanted to fish this portion of the lake because they've been shut for so long. My theory is that a lot of the fish will be held up in this area towards the back here and to the side, just where the windmill is. Don't know if you can see that. You probably can't because of the sun. There's just a windmill over there. And yes, I thought with all the anglers coming and taking sort of the spot there, I don't know if you can see the bivvy just across there in the back way. My theory is that a lot of the fish will be held up towards the back. Now, it's just a theory, there's no hard evidence on this, but if I was a fish, I always try and think like a fish. If I was a fish, I'd probably go to the quietest part of the lake and just kind of hide out, kind of thing. Especially when it's high pressure and there's lots of people fishing all the time. So I've seen quite a few signs, a bit of bubbling and fizzing. Not much, I mean it's really cold, so there wasn't much, but there was a little bit about. So I've gone with 3 different rigs. I've got the PVA bag on one rig, I've got the Ronnie rig, got the Ronnie rig, but I've done a Medusa kind of rig with it, so I've got a pop-up on it with like 6 maggots, you know, tied to the end, and so that's a pop-up rig. Then on my middle rod I've got my normal coated braid rig with just a tutti frutti bottom bait, and then again with like 5 maggots on that. And then, like I said, the third rig is just a PVA bag rig with just some I think it's 2mm, you know, small sticky, oh no, it's DNA baits. Which one is it now? I think it's the SLK, that's it. So I just thought I'd put that out, and then for the hook bait on that, I've got some pop-up corn with a fake maggot, just a single fake maggot. I've got 2 pop-up corn, sorry, 2 pop-up corn with a fake maggot. So, I mean, it's hard fishing this time of year, as you'll all know anyway. So I'm just hoping it's a nice day. The pressure has dropped quite, well, it's down at 993 at the minute, so it has dropped a little bit. Now, whether this does help or not, I'm not sure, but there was quite a bit of action this morning on the lake. Like I said, I was the first one here, there was nobody else here, it was just me. So I got to have a good walk around. I've come furthest away from everybody else. Like I say, it's that tight down here, I can't even get the bivvy in, which I do like to try and get my bivvy in, you know, I like to put it up just in case there's any really bad weather, but you got to adapt, haven't you? I like to be on the fish. I blanked twice at my usual spot now, so I thought, you know what, I can't do this, I need to change it up. I know it's hard going in winter anyway, but I wanted to give this spot a try, as I think the fish will be held up in these areas. There is fish showing in front of me actually, a few little bits here and there. So fingers crossed for a nice fish today. So yeah, I'm going to try and go through some of the gear that I use. I'm going to try to go through not end tackle, but more everything else, and I'll try and cover what I use, just in case new anglers are thinking, what can I use, what do I need. Tip number one would be, in winter, definitely invest in some thermals. A thermal base layer underneath is better than two on top, and it really is. I bought some the other day as it was getting nippy, and I thought, you know what, I need to get myself some thermals or something thicker. So I've got my t-shirt on, I've got a thermal layer underneath, a t-shirt, a hoodie, and then I've got like a windproof jacket. A windproof jacket's always good. And the other thing is thick socks with boots. So that's like the first kind of tip for anyone who's new to angling. Obviously, you seasoned anglers, you'll know this. But the new people, or the less experienced, maybe you started angling, carp fishing in summer, or even normal fishing. Maybe you started in summer and it was really warm and it's getting to winter, which we're in now. Definitely make sure you're comfortable. Take protection from the rain, protection from the wind, cold. I mean, even in summer you should be taking protection from the sun, so you should always take some sunblock with you. I've always got some in my bag. It's in my bag right now. I know it's winter, but it's just in the bottom of my bag. It's just a small little one of the mini ones from Asda, I think it was. A couple of quid. Chuck it in your bag, it's worth having. It's definitely worth having something like that. So that's definitely my number one tip of anything to do with winter fishing, is come prepared. Make sure, think of the unthinkable. Even if it's a nice day like today, as you can see, it's really nice out there. You just never know what's going to happen. You could turn and things could go to crap, and you could be like, right, I've really effed this one up because I'm not prepared for this. So number one, always prepare. Anything you think you need, double check it, because you don't want to get caught short. And it does ruin. I've seen some people come out with like shorts and t-shirt and just a hoodie and some trousers over the top, and in winter a couple of years ago, the guy went home because it was so cold. I mean, you want to enjoy your time on the bank. That's the thing, isn't it? You want to maximise your time. You don't want to pay your day fee, a day ticket complex, and then halfway through the day be so cold, or maybe you got wet or something and you've got no means of changing. So that's my number one tip. Always go prepared. So the first thing we'll talk about then is this shelter. This shelter here. It is literally, I got it from Argos, I think it was, and I bought it for the summer, for when it's it's sunny, it's warm, it offers some shade, and it just packed into. It's actually technically smaller than my sling, so my sling's on in a bag. It's just a thin bag, and this packs into a bag. It's a little bit heavier, but it's just as small. It's no weight really, and it's got guy lines and some like tension poles here, and the main section of the umbrella unscrews, and it cost me £35. I'm not going to be the person to put it up in the storms, obviously, but like today I wanted to get onto a narrow bank, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to use the day shelter today. The weather's not looking too bad. It could change. I've got my other bivvy on the barrow anyway, just in case I need to dart off and move somewhere and put the bivvy up. But 35 quid, and it's done me well. I've had it for maybe 8 months. Peg it down at the bottom, put the guy lines down if the room allows it, So like I say, 35 quid, cheap as chips. Doesn't have to be the most expensive gear. Obviously if this was going to be used like quite heavily, then I'd maybe invest in something maybe a little bit more expensive, but it does the job for me. It's just a little day shelter. It'll protect me from the rain. Like I said, the peak comes to just out of the shot here, so if I needed to escape the rain or the wind or whatever, I could just sit further back in here and I'd be out of the way. The day shelter, that's number one. For my unhooking mat, I've literally just got, I think they're Westlake from Go Outdoors. I've got two mats. One's a NGT and one's the Westlake, which is just small, probably about 3 foot, something like that. I'm getting a bigger, larger one, but I take two. If it's a small fish, I'll put it on one. If it's a bigger fish, I'll put one on top of the other and kind of overlay them and put them together. So what else do I use? So my landing net, it's a 42-inch landing net. It's the NGT with the net floats. So, and I've just got, I think I've just got a Shakespeare handle from, like I said, from Go Outdoors. I'm slowly upgrading all my kit, but when I first started out, like quite a few years ago, on proper carp fishing, I just got the bare necessities, just as cheap as I could, but that would work, and that landing net's done me fine. Never had any issues with it. The handle, the Shakespeare Omni handle isn't the best in the world, but it's a 3 meter. It's like an extendable one, but you unscrew the back of the big section, and then you can slide the small section out, and it kind of slots in. So that's all right. I never use it like that. I just use the one section. I've never really needed to. But yeah, it's not too bad. It does the job. Like I say, I've always managed to catch fish with it. Never had any issues. What's next? So my rod pod, the Leader Rogue 3-in-1 rod pod. So that's a really good pod. I quite like it. It's compact, and I quite like that, and it's quite, what can I say, versatile. So you can use it as goalposts, you can use it as just single bank sticks, you can use it as the pod. It's adjustable. You can set it higher and lower on all angles. Basically it's 8 small extendable bank sticks, and they screw into it all, and that's okay. I am going to be doing a review video on that at some point, so keep an eye out on the channel for that one. My rods, now this is a funky one. So I've always used Go Outdoors, cheap and cheerful, you know, small brand rods. Never had any issues with them. I even did that before I went to carp fishing. So when I was just like float fishing or feeder fishing, always used the cheap ones. I never had any issues. And I was looking for an upgrade, so I was looking online, see all these brands, obviously Fox. Now they're not the most expensive things in the world, of rods, but some of them do get up quite expensive, and I came across the TF Gear Banshee rods, and I bought one from Go Outdoors actually while I was looking in there. And what happened was, I bought it. I thought, you know what, this is a really nice rod. It was really sleek, really thin. It's not chunky like the Ron Thompson rods from Go Outdoors. You know, if you know, they're quite chunky. And well, I'll show you them actually. How about that? So these are the rods. They're the TF Gear Banshee. I've got the V2 rods. Let me just put that on this side. So that was the original one I bought, which was 2.75 test curve, 12 foot, as you can see there. And I went onto their website and having a look around, and it was buy one get one free on the 12 foot 2.5 test curve rods. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to treat myself, why not? And I ended up buying two, well, bought one and got one free of the Banshee V2 rods. Just focusing on that. And the only difference I can tell really is one, the test curve and the branding logo kind of style, and the buttering on them. The two newer ones, the V2s, have got quite large butt rings on them, whereas the other one doesn't. Now that's not a big issue for me. I don't have a problem with that, to be honest with you. So that's the pod, yeah. It's quite a nice looking pod. I quite like it anyway. And then for my reels, I got some Whitewood Big Pit, Riot Big Pit 75s. Brilliant reels. I'm going to be doing a review on them at some point, as a friend asked me what's the difference between switching from, what's the difference? What's it like switching from, like small reels, not necessarily small, but like not big pit reels, not big chunky things. And I said, you know what, I found it quite weird. Literally just, I got so used to casting and aiming with, with the normal. I think I had some, what were they? Might have been like some Shimanos, or there were 3 Shimanos, and they weren't big pits, they were just small reels, did the job, brilliant reels. And I was like, what's it like? I was like, well, it's really tough, because when I first casted out the on the big pit, I found it really weird because it was heavy, the rod felt heavy, and I've got used to it now. But yeah, so I'm going to do a video on that, and I'm going to do it as part of the review for the Whitewood Big Pit reels. And so yeah, I'll have a look at what other bits I've got, what the stuff that I use on a daily basis. Obviously, I've got the Fox EOS 2 bivvy. If you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. I'll put a card up here for you to look at that. And I used the Bison Terror MK2 barrow, which I've been using for a couple months now. If you haven't seen the video of that, then you can check that out up here as well, or go to my channel and have a look if you want. So yeah, right, I'll leave you there. I'm gonna get myself a brew. Hopefully I'll be back with a nice lump to show you. If not, if I think of anything, I'll definitely let you know. See you in a bit. Hi guys, welcome back. So it's been a few hours. I think it's about 12:30 now, and I've had quite a lot of liners, a few bites. Actually had a take, or 2 takes actually, but upon lifting into the fish, nothing on the end, so a little bit disappointing on that front. So definitely tell it's warmed up a little bit, because from earlier you'll have noticed there was bloody steam coming out of my mouth. Now there's none, and it's a really nice day on the lake. As you can tell, it's quite calm relatively. So just having a brew. Part of tip number 1 for winter fishing: definitely take yourself a flask of any kind of warm drink, really. Just warms you through. Oh, so it is nippy. I've got my gloves on. Always good to have a nice pair of gloves. And just changed my baits. I've got the pop-up corn, double pop-up corn still on the left-hand rod, which was in a bag. Sinking corn, that is, not pop-up corn, sorry, sinking corn. Middle rods, just got the same one, Tutti Frutti, with a couple of maggots on. And the Ronnie rig on the right-hand side, that had a screaming take, and when I lifted into it there was nothing there, but upon retrieving it there was no maggots left, so I had to retie that rig. I think that's it really for now. like I say, it's a really nice day out, and there are fish in the area. There's definitely fishing about. I just don't think they're playing, or if they are playing, they're not playing very well. The ducks are loving it. I'll show you the lake. That's the windmill that I was on about earlier, where my Ronnie rig's cast towards. There's a few people on. A couple of match type fishermen over on the far left there. They've had a couple of fish, I think. So yeah, no new updates unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. Hoping to get a nice fish for you today. There's still plenty of time. Obviously if I do, you'll definitely know because it'll be in the video. And that's pretty much it for now. I'll keep you updated. Hopefully we get something. Speak soon. Get in. Come on. Oh. Oh. Wow. Well, that's a fish. Hi everyone. Well, we got one finally, and it's a bit of a big one. It's not huge, but it's big, fairly big. I'll show you it now. That's it in the net. So let's get this bad boy out and give it away. Get some pictures. There it is. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Absolutely mega, and it's awesome. Definitely paid off. What a brilliant fish. Just gonna weigh him, and then we'll get him back. So it's -3, 18.5. Hi guys, welcome back. Well, after the excitement of that last fish, I've still got the jitters, as you always do when you catch a nice fish. I've had a few bleeps, like I say, throughout the day on all the rods. I've had a couple of takes which struck in and ended up in nothing, unfortunately. but that fish was a really nice fish. It's probably my favourite fish this year by far. I just had a bleep on that rod. Hopefully we'll get something else. I'm going to be packing up maybe about 4 o'clock today. Got a few bits to do, at home. Can't let that get behind, but just so happy that I've been out and managed to bag a fish. I mean, that one weighed in at, minus the sling, that was 18.5. So that's actually my PB, funnily enough. Like I say, I've always caught smaller kind of tier of fish. My PB before was 16.7, which I had from the same lake at Elvington. I was over on the point. Any of you that know Elvington, I was on the point on the other side of the lake. So I'm just over the moon that I haven't smashed my PB because it's only a little bit more, but I've still broken it. And I'm going to name the Elvington series that I'm going to be doing as the campaign for the 20. I want to get a £20 fish. I want to join the 20 club. Now I know there's a lot of them in here. One of the Uber Baits lads, Wayne, he's had the lake record, which is, I think it's just over 31 or just under. So for now, the series, well, I say series, any session that I'm going to be doing here is going to be part of the campaign for the 20. And if and when we finally get that one, we'll move it up, maybe do a different series, maybe the quest for the 30, which is going to take a long time, as I know that fish that Wayne had hasn't come out for a long time, and it was a few pounds lighter back then as well. So I'm also hopeful for a catfish. I know it's not a carp, but there's some nice very big catfish in here, so I won't mind grabbing myself one of them as well at some point, just to say that I've had a catfish before, because I've never caught one. So yeah, absolutely over the moon with that one. But that one was caught on the Ronnie rig with the Medusa that I was on about earlier. Literally just a sweet, can't remember what brand it is, just a sweet, I think it was a cream seed pop up with 6 maggots, Medusa style on the end, and that's done the business on that one. The fight wasn't too hard. It was quite tough because the peg, as you'll have seen, the pegs, it's very narrow, so it's a wide peg, obviously it's a double peg, but it's quite a very narrow, so it was tough to maneuver around. Obviously a 12-foot rod with a relatively big fish on it. But yeah, just absolutely over the moon with that. Hoping for possibly another one at some point today. If I don't, doesn't matter. I came out with the expectation of not catching anything, with a nice kind of feeling that maybe something would happen, hopefully, but it's paid off. I came, this part of the lake is boggy, it's tough to get down with a barrow, but I just chanced it, and by luck, sheer luck, I managed to get on the fish, and I was rewarded with that lovely 18.5 £. Carp. So yeah, just absolutely buzzing with it, still shaking, after you've had the battle. It wasn't a huge fight, it wasn't massive, but it felt a lot lighter. I thought it was maybe going to be maybe a 10 or 11, something like that, but to pull it out and then weigh it, and then minus my £3 off for the sling, and it weighed at 18.5, I just thought, wow, that's phenomenal. It was quite fat. I've got some of the pictures that I'll show you. And it was very wide. I thought, well, that's not very big, but it was really wide. So yeah, hopefully, you never know, there's always time. I'm going to be here for another 2 hours, so there's always time for 1 or 2 more bends in the rod. Hopefully I'll have another chunk or 2, or if I don't, then I don't, but hopefully I might do, and then we'll see you shortly. Well, that's it for today, folks. It's been a brilliant day out on the bank at Elvington, the campaign for the 20. So it still goes on. I got the 18.5, which is, I'm still totally buzzing. I know for some anglers that's probably small change, but for me it means quite a lot. Like I say, it's my PB now, so I'll be definitely back here in a couple of weeks to try and, you know, carry on the campaign. The rods are still out. I'm going to start packing my gear away. As you know, the rods are always last, just in case you get that last minute bite, you know. But it's been a tough one. Like I said, I don't think many people, I think the match fishermen over on the other side, they've had probably a few silvers, but I would hazard a guess that maybe I'm the only person who's had a carp out today, possibly. I'm not 100% sure, but hope you enjoyed the video today. Definitely like, if you did like it, leave any comments of anything I can do better, or if you have any questions. I would like to know the answer to a question which maybe you guys can help me with. What's the best size lead that you'd use? I've always used 2.5s for most of my fishing. Now a few other people have said they use 1.5s, but other people have gone the other way and said they use like 3.5, 4. So I guess I could do with a bit of help from you lot that are watching this. If you could leave a comment just to let me know what your preferred kind of weight of lead is for a, you know, like a small to medium sized lake. I know obviously size of the lake is a factor, but it would be nice just to see what the viewers think and kind of correlate the numbers and see maybe if I need to up it or whatever. The other question I guess I have actually, which I'm going to be doing a video on, what was it like for you switching from, you know, non-big pit reels to big pit reels? Was it like I mentioned earlier, was it quite tough for you? Did you find it different? You know, obviously you've been working on the you've been casting for years on your normal reels, and now obviously you've switched to the big pits. Was it a big shock to the system? Kind of, did you have to recalculate in your mind where you needed to let go of the clip, you know, of your line, you know, when you're casting? So it'd be nice to know from some of you guys that as well, if that'd be okay. I'm gonna start getting my gear together, pack up, just be ready to get on the move. So like I say, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave any comments, like, subscribe if you like this kind of thing. Hit the bell notification if you want to keep up to date on when I release new videos. I will be doing them hopefully weekly at least. So thanks for watching, and tight lines, and I'll see you next time.